Ted Cruz, senator from Texas, says, "I fully agree with AOC's statement." Okay, but AOC had to ruin it. Here's what she said. "I am happy to work with Republicans on this issue where there's common ground, but you almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you can sit this one out. Happy to work with almost any other GOP that aren't trying to get me killed. In the meantime, if you want to help, you can resign."
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez rejected a sign of cooperation from Senator Ted Cruz with this tweet. "You almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you can sit this one out. Happy to work with almost any other GOP that aren't trying to get me killed. In the meantime, if you want to help, you can resign." That was in response to Senator Cruz tweeting that he fully agreed with Ocasio-Cortez that there should be hearings on the developing GameStop situation on Wall Street. Sean, why would she respond that way with a reach out, a bipartisan reach out from across the aisle?
Yeah, that's a great question because, as we know, Ted Cruz had a completely legal and constitutional right to call into question what was happening in the November presidential election. And for that, Ocasio-Cortez basically accuses him of attempted murder.
Wow, not nice and totally over the top. And that's what she is, over the top. All right. She's getting at, January 6th. And Ted Cruz, as we all know, stood up to oppose the electoral count, as was his right.
Listen, Harris, I was in the Congress for almost 9 years. Contrary to popular belief, actually, people do work together. There is bipartisanship in the Congress, and this is destroying any kind of bipartisanship that you'll ever have in the Congress. Just like they destroy statutes, they're destroying bipartisanship that exists in the Congress. And by the way, Republicans showed restraint when almost 12 members of Congress were shot and almost killed on a baseball field. Steve Scalise almost died. We showed restraint when our members of Congress left the White House after the president accepted his nomination. They were threatened to be beaten up. Their wives were called hookers, but that was not the word that was used. We showed restraint and didn't blame Ocasio-Cortez. We didn't blame Bernie Sanders. We actually showed restraint to say it's important that we actually work together, that we come together. This is so outrageous that she would use this language against Ted Cruz. It's dividing America and dividing the Congress.
And now it's gotten tougher to raise legitimate questions about the fairness of the November 3rd election because of what happened on January 6th. They're trying to say that anybody in Congress who raised objections, well, they're responsible for the mayhem that followed. That is absolutely not fair, but that is the new narrative being driven every day by, the left-leaning media, featuring Chuck Todd this afternoon at about 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Folks, it is a difficult thing to say, but recent actions and inactions from Republicans in Congress risk them becoming known as the party that is actively embracing political violence.
They say this with a straight face, even more, a somber face. Republicans, the party actively embracing political violence. It is total and complete nonsense, of course. We reject political violence.
It's hypocrisy, but we're in a situation where Democrats use incendiary language. They want to attack Republicans. They want to call them all racist. And if you can call someone a racist, as you mentioned in your lead-in question, you can then silence them. You can shut them down. You can demonize them. And you can say they're fair targets for attack. Listen, why isn't it racist, Harris, to be for limited government, lower taxes, following the rule of law? That's not racist. That's a traditional American theme. And when we fight for those things, all of a sudden you're called a racist. Ted Cruz, by the way, is Hispanic. And all of a sudden he's a racist as well. This has become so outrageous. This is the claim that's made for everybody. Everybody's now a racist if you're a Republican.